How's it going? Ryan here at etrailer.com. Today on our 2010 Chevrolet Colorado, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the Curt Trailer Hitch Receiver. Now this is going to be a great option for you, say if your truck doesn't already have a hitch on it, or if it does and it's rusty, getting worn out, this will be a great alternative for a replacement or even an upgrade. One thing I did notice and I really like is at the end of our receiver tube, it's going to come out pretty much flush with the edge of our bumper. Not only is that going to be great for those folding accessories, but it's also going to be really easy to use too. For example, a ball mount or anything else that you want to put in your hitch. Now one of the things that I do like compared to some of the other ones is the actual look of the hitch itself. I really like the round tube, and in my opinion I think it kind of just blends in a little bit better and looks nicer on the back of our Colorado. Now since this is a Class 3 hitch, it's going to have that 2" by 2" receiver tube opening. It's also going to have a reinforced collar for extra strength. Now it's going to have the standard 5/8 size pinhole, but keep in mind a pin and clip does not come included, but if you need one, you can find it here at etrailer.com. Now the safety chain openings are a plate style, and they are a little bit small, but we're still going to have enough room in between those and the bottom of our bumper to easily get our hand in there and use just about any size hook. Now as far as the hitch's weight capacities go, it's going to have a 400-pound maximum gross tongue weight rating. That's going to be the amount of weight pushing down on the hitch. So that's going to be more than enough capacity to use just about any accessory that you would want to. Now as far as the maximum gross trailer weight rating goes, it's going to be 4,000 pounds, the amount of weight pulling on the hitch. So that'll be the weight of your trailer plus anything that you might have on it. Now this can be used with the weight distribution system, which is a separate component, but if you are using one of those, the weight capacities do increase. The maximum tongue weight rating goes up to 600 pounds, and the maximum gross trailer weight rating goes up to 6,000 pounds. But I do want to point out, it is always a good idea to check with your Colorado's owner's manual to make sure your truck can pull that much weight. Just for a quick recommendation, if you do plan on doing a little bit of towing, I'd recommend picking up some trailer wiring. That way you can be safe and legal. Now I'm going to give you a couple of measurements, and you're going to use these to help figure out which hitch mounted accessories to get. From the ground to the top inside edge of the receiver tube opening, it's going to be about 18.5 inches. And that's going to help you figure out whether to get a ball mount with either a drop or a rise. From the center of the hitch pinhole to the edge of the rear bumper, it's going to be about 2 inches. And that's going to help you figure out if any folding accessories you might have can be stored in the upright position without making contact with the bumper. Now as far as the installation goes, this one isn't going to be the easiest in the world, but it's also not going to be the hardest. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and put it on together now. To begin our installation, we're going to be working underneath the back of our truck here, removing some hardware out from our frame rail. The bolts that we're going to take out will be this one here on the side. We'll take that out with a 21mm. And we're also going to take out this one here on the bottom, and we'll do that with an 18mm. And over here on the other frame rail, we're also going to go ahead and remove that same hardware, which I went ahead and already did. Now we can go ahead and put our hitch into position. Now it is a little heavy, so you may need an extra set of hands to get this done. So what we did on each side was get our factory bolt in this hole through the hitch, hand tight. That way the hitch will support itself while we work on the rest of the hardware. Now for our bolt that goes in through the side, what we're going to do is take our large bolt and a washer, and we're going to take our 2 larger spacer blocks. And how this is going to work, these spacer blocks are going to get sandwiched in between our hitch and the outside of our frame rail. So these blocks are going to slide up in between like this. And we can kind of hold our blocks up and line them up with the hole in the hitch. And we're able to take our bolt, slide it through completely, and then we can line everything up with the factory hole in the frame rail and get it hand tight. Now what we're going to do to get our hardware inside of the frame rail to drop down this hole here is we're going to use a Fishwire. So we'll take the Fishwire that's included, we're going to feed that up into it, the coiled end that is. We're going to push that a little bit towards the front of the truck and to the left and get it to come out of a hole on the outside of our frame rail. Now the hole that we're shooting for is this square one right here. So if you kind of just work that fish wire up, pull it down a little bit. What we're going to do is take one of our spacer blocks, slide that over the fish wire, and one of our carriage bolts. We're going to thread that carriage bolt all the way into the fish wire. And we're going to feed that hardware in through that opening. We're going to pull the other end of our fish wire and kind of jiggle our hardware around. What we're trying to do is get it to drop down through that hole. It's kind of a tight fit, so just be patient and work it down. Once we have it down though, you can remove your fish wire. Now I've already done the other side because it's set up the exact same. But whenever you remove the first one, you're going to actually want to unthread the fish wire because you're going to need to use it for the other side. Since I already did that side, I can just pull it off. Then we're going to secure it using a flange nut. As I just mentioned, other side is set up the same way. When you have one done, go ahead and do that over there too. With all of our hardware in place and hand tight, now we can go ahead and snug it all down. Now we can use a torque wrench to tighten all of our hardware down to the specification found in our instruction. And that'll finish up our look at and our installation of the Curt Trailer Hitch Receiver on our 2010 Chevrolet Colorado.